It's really lovely to see them working together.
It brings a lot of joy, I guess, to see someone so happy.
The students here who are volunteering is so helpful with our kids.
I made lots of new friends that made me feel really accepting.
My daughter feels like just everybody else.
To be able to offer some help to people in need is what they love to do.
My take on diff-ability and Dan's different ability is about him as an educator. And I think that's really morphed into our organisation of DanDaLion Friends becoming an educator in the community. I spoke to, at the cooking event that we had, one of the parents said to me, "Oh, I've just taken a video of my son in there interacting with all those kids in there." She wanted to show this to her husband because he wouldn't believe it. We're educating parents that there are no limits on your child's ability, only the ones that you place on them.
We build upon that. Like, I think there's those sort of experiences that the parents have had that make them want to shelter their kids because there's been maybe an experience at school or going out in a social environment where their kids have been maybe teased or looked at funny, and I think when they come to us they know their kids can come in, have a good time.
My daughter really enjoys the meeting people and enjoying the participation.
My son Ben's really happy to come and do things like this. He gets very little opportunity.
This is just inclusiveness at its most basic, fundamental, in its organic shape.
Building on what Claire was saying about inclusiveness is that I obviously work in the disability field and was showing some of the work that we've been doing with DanDaLion, and it was the fact that my colleagues went, I can't actually picture who is the person with a disability and who are your volunteers, and it was the point that the inclusive nature of what we're doing and us embracing diff-ability was the fact that it was so organic and everyone was on an equal level.
A lot of inclusive community events are, let's have disability present but not involved. And that's what I really love what we do with DanDaLion. It's about stepping out of the shadows, removing limitation, and asking you to be present, asking you to add value, and asking you to give of yourself, regardless of ability.
Disability suggests that the dis suggests that they're lacking something, that they're lower or they're different, or they're lacking something in being a person. A diff-ability is acknowledging that they're not lacking anything. They're just as much of a person as you and I, but they just have a different ability.
Jacko, you work with Dan, right? What do you see when you look beyond his disability to his different ability?
Like if we look at the cricket game, for example, two teams of kids having a hit, both teams scored runs, both teams had a hit, both teams were there cheering each other on, their parents were there as well. I don't really see where the disability there on that day was. When we look at Dan, yeah, he's got a few challenges and he struggles sometimes with focusing onto a task, but he went from not being able to tackle a bag to smashing it out of the park, doing 6. He's gone from not being able to run 8 laps around a track, can run faster than me. I don't see how calling them disabled really highlights the person they really are. I think diff-ability really lets them be their sort of person and lets them reach their own goals.
There's so many levels to who we are as an organisation and educator, and let's explore what we do for volunteers.
Our volunteering is stepping way outside of a comfort zone into maybe an environment that you've never experienced before.
Often a one-on-one mentoring process, and that is something you don't achieve. You often go to these events and you are a number in a crowd, but what we actually offer people is the ability to relate.
I really love the fact that Dan's value has gone from being a kid who could be in his room to now a kid who, through our representation, is out there doing great things in the community. That, to me, is the definition of redefining value for Dan. Now let's talk about the organisation redefining value.
It's about it being a bigger picture than one aspect of who you are, and that value can be defined by you and the important stakeholders in your life, and then how you use that value breaks through those barriers that are placed on you by the rest of society.
There was no judgment, it was just all fun and friendship, and it was just an incredible experience.
It was a really good atmosphere, so I think everyone really did enjoy themselves.
I think as an organisation, by focusing on ability, we can just bring together a group of people to achieve a common goal.
What we're essentially asking you is to give a Dan. We're going to ask you to give a Dan by being involved and challenge how others think about diff-ability, but more so ask about what your ability is in regards to changing our notions on this as well.